That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT! Everybody else to talk about, oh, what you did or didn't do when you went out. Forget all of that. What I'm asking you is a simple question. We talk about the GOAT here, the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, and you running your mouth talking about you gonna beat him one-on-one. Why would you say something so blasphemous?
He would need help.
Really?
He's too small. His name is big and y'all like, it was 5-on-5. 5-on-5 game, he good. One-on-one, I'm undefeated, never lost.
Celebrating while listening.
We all need to celebrate. We all need to celebrate Goat Man. Goat Man, yeah, that's him.
Because he says so?
Yeah, don't do that, Skip. Don't do that, Skip, trying to undermine that man's argument.
Is he right?
I didn't need him to tell me that. Tell me what I already know.
You and him, you're the only
It
two.
ain't over me and him. It's more.
About that time, February season 3, I decided to recontinue it because I did not become consistent this month at all. December, I failed y'all. I said I was gonna post every time, twice a week. But it's time to come back now, stronger, bigger. If you're new here, February is pretty much the month where I go extremely consistent for the whole month of February. I'm going to be posting, I'm gonna try my best to post 3 vids a week and 1 short a day. I'm also starting school in the same month, so it's kind of like I have to get everything together and become consistent. Enjoy the new intro, and I'm gonna see y'all after the video. Yo, what's good with y'all? First episode of February. Today we're gonna be reacting to NBA legends and players react to LeBron James calling himself the GOAT. I mean, in my opinion, I believe I'm the best at what I do. I believe everybody should believe they're the best at what they do, no matter how hard or where you are, what part of life you are. As long as you feel like you are the best at what you're doing, what you will do, what you're about to achieve. That's the right mentality. You should never feel second to somebody that you don't know. Some random person. So him calling himself the GOAT, I see nothing wrong with that. I don't know why this is such a big deal. I don't know why people bring this up when, oh yeah, legends don't call themselves GOATs. I can call myself the GOAT if I want to. If I feel like I am the GOAT, then I will tell myself that I'm the GOAT. I have to, if I don't tell myself that, then I won't believe it genuinely. And if I don't believe it genuinely, I'm not going to produce like a GOAT. I'm going to produce like a regular person that I think I am. So yeah, I don't know why this is a big deal, but we're gonna react to this video. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2,000. Hopefully we can get it by the end of this month. That's the goal. So yeah, let's get into it.
YG, aka Yangala. And remember when LeBron James called himself the GOAT after coming back down 3-1 against his...
Coming back down from 3-1 too. Come on now. 3-1, you got to.
73-9
He deserves to.
That shook the whole NBA world, especially Jordan fans. And I can see why they're mad, because LeBron James made a bold statement. But I can also understand why LeBron said that, because think about this. If you came back down from 3-1 against a team that has the best record in NBA history, you'll be feeling the same way. But I agree that he should just kept that to himself, because that's for the people to decide. But at the same time, I love
Draymond Green believed he was the best defender in the world. Nobody said anything about that. But when LeBron says he's the GOAT, oh my God. Come on now.
Love that he said that, because you're not going to see an NBA legend step out to the public and say he's the greatest player of all time. So anyways, man, we're going to listen to NBA legends and players react to LeBron James calling himself the GOAT. But before we get straight into that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for the culture so you won't be missing any of my videos. And let's get to the vid, man.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. That's what I felt. I was super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years of everything in sports going on in Cleveland. And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
People always debated, who's the greatest player of all time? dumb question. It should be, who's the greatest team of all time? You know, there are so many teams to choose from. The 91 Chicago Bulls, sorry, Showtime. The 92 Bulls, back-to-back. 93 Bulls, first three-peat.
Notice that how he had to say the greatest team of all time. The team. Not him. Not him. Not him by himself. His team.
97 Bulls, even with the flu. 98 Bulls, no push-off. And my favorite, the 96 Chicago Bulls. 72 wins. Tough to beat that.
Steph Curry has some words for you.
What? You think there's someone else? Prove it.
I don't need to prove it. Steph Curry literally did 73. Bozo.
His career's not over. I'd just like to, why he's saying that, I don't know. Maybe he thinks that sells. Maybe he's taking the Donald Trump approach.
That it sells? Why can't I be confident in myself? Whether it's on camera, off camera, in a trash can, in my parents' house, why can't I say that? Okay.
And trying to sell himself, I don't know, but time will tell. I think history. I don't even know if anybody knows who the greatest of all time is because the years are so different.
Wow.
Follow that, Scottie Pippen.
That's a tough one to follow. I mean, that's Danny Ainge's opinion, right. And we all have our opinion. But my problem is more so with LeBron. If you are the greatest player, if people are saying you are the greatest player, or if people are saying Michael Jordan is the greatest player, why do you need to say it?
Right.
Because I feel as though it's okay. First of all, we're in a new generation. This is a generation where LeBron's on a podcast. If Jordan back then, I don't know, podcasts maybe weren't that important. YouTube wasn't popping like that. Nobody was clipping things like this. If he came back from 3-1 and beat the best team in the history of the NBA, record-wise, Jordan would say it too. That's all I'm saying. If Jordan has never done that in his life. He's never beat a team that's 73 and come back 3-1 on top of.
Michael Jordan has never, ever said he's the greatest player to ever play the game. Why? He's respected all the other players before him. So for LeBron to say that, he's sort of pulling himself out of it because you can't say you're the greatest player. You have to allow your peers in the world to say that.
I can say whatever I want to. If I believe I'm the greatest editor in the state of Maryland, which is completely false, I can say that. If there's a camera on, oops. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. But if I did, so what?
So the context of when he said it, just because, if we're having this discussion, he was sitting around with his friends, and he was saying that when he won that 2016 title, he said his first thought was Cleveland, wow, we've done this first time in 52 years. And he said, my second thought as I was, running around the court being crazy was, wow, I did it. This is what makes me the greatest player of all time. You can disagree with him. I get it. And you can disagree with him saying that. And by the way, that conversation was for a documentary that was supposed to appear on ESPN+. So he knew cameras were rolling. It's not like they caught him in a moment.
Well, I think it's pretty great that a guy won 3 titles, left for 2 years, came back and won 3 more. That is considered greatness to me.
Yeah.
Winning ultimately decides who the great.
You can't win by yourself. If Jordan was playing with no team, if it was a 1v5, he would lose.
Greatest players are in the game.
Well, as it turns out,
winning is a team stat. I don't know how many times I have to say it.
Our pal Michael Wilbon about his plays on.
Doesn't matter how good John Morant is, the Grizzlies are not winning the fight. The Grizzlies are a good team. Never mind, I'm capping. I tried to think of a random guy. It doesn't matter how good Zion Williamson is, the Pelicans are not winning the NBA Finals. That's a better comparison.
On the all-time list of NBA greatness, and here is what MJ had to say.
I don't want it in a sense because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, all the guys that prior to me, I never had a chance to play against. What everybody's saying I am, I never had the chance to compete against other legends that was prior to me. When I hear it, I cringe a little bit because, it's a little bit embarrassing because no one knows, I never had the chance once again to play against those guys.
I need one word answer, Chauncey. Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time, Jalen?
Airness.
Greatest of all time?
Unanimous.
Okay, thank you very much. That being said, Jalen, I want to start with you.
Okay.
How do you feel about LeBron saying that about himself?
First and foremost, to me, LeBron officially passed Larry Bird and got into the top 5 when he won his final champ.
I'm about to pop up with this. Nobody's faced the competition. I've said this over and over again. Nobody in NBA history has faced a team great with the amount of talent that was in that 2016 Warriors team. Nobody. Jordan has never faced a player like Curry in his life. He faced Larry Bird once and lost, and then Larry Bird hurt his back. Imagine if Larry Bird didn't hurt his back and kept playing in the league. He would be done. He probably wouldn't have as much rings as he had.
Championship, his only championship in Cleveland. In my mind, he still has a way to go clearly to pass Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, 11 championships, 13 years, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
the captain.
And my heart just won't let him pass Magic just yet. I got to see a little bit more. And so that's where I'm going on this topic. I appreciate how he's bringing this up so millennials that only saw him play can continue to say he's the guy. But guys that's been around the game and young ladies, we've seen something else that's really special as well.
You have never seen someone come back 3-1 in the playoffs against the greatest team with the greatest record.
I agree with everything you're saying, Jay. I love it. I love that he stepped out there.
Thank you. This is what I'm talking about. He respects Jordan, but you can at least say you're the GOAT. There's no problem with that, bro. I don't know why they were tweaking about this.
I love that he stepped out there and said that. I don't remember any other player ever coming out and saying, I'm the greatest of all time. I've never seen that before. I love that he's done that. He's on the Mount Rushmore, in my opinion, but I can't put him at the top. There's no way I can put him at the top.
Fair.
And at the end of the day, and he talked about this, that win, beating that team, made him the greatest of all time. Maybe if he would have hit that shot that Kyrie hit,
I mean, that is a part of the narrative.
I could see him maybe saying that, but I can't go there. I'm sorry.
You know what? We should turn to our resident self-promoter.
No, I don't know if you can self-proclaim this, because when you think of all the great players like Jalen said, Kareem, Magic, none of them has never.
Paul Pierce is just mad that he lost against LeBron. That's all it is.
Come out and said, I'm the GOAT. That's something up to like the fans, the writers, and former.
Paul Pierce is biased. He doesn't have no say in this.
Players. So when they come out with these ESPN rankings and all these other rankings, let that be the judge, I think. But the self-proclaiming, he's definitely up there. He's definitely top 5 in my book. But I think when you look at the accolades, the championships, I mean, Jordan, Magic, Kareem, they're all up there.
I've never heard one of the greatest say they were the greatest of all time. That was very interesting to me.
You
Kevin,
see that?
What are your thoughts?
He's paving the way. He's paving the way. Because now he said that, and then I remember Patrick Beverley. It was either Patrick Beverley or Draymond Green. One of them said they were the greatest defender of all time. And and he was on a podcast, and they said, "Oh yeah, you should believe that about yourself, because if you don't, you're not anybody." So yeah, you did a good job believing it. And LeBron says he's the GOAT. Oh my God, he's tweaking.
Thoughts?
Oof, man. You know what? It's one thing. We all sit at this table all the time and sing his
Kevin.
praises.
Yeah.
I think LeBron is a great player. Yeah. I just think that's disrespectful, honestly, to Bill Russell. What did Bill Russell do? Won every time. He said, all right, fellas, you want to win? Come with me. We'll go on the floor. That's what this game's all about. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he was great on time. All levels, though, Kareem. The best in high school, the best in college, and the best in the pros.
That's what I'm saying. Michael. I mean, there's just so many. two of my good, Larry and Magic. I mean, just led teams and turned the league around. You don't
I
need
want
to
to
say
pause
that
this,
about
but I've
yourself.
said
Let
what
other
I
people
needed to
that
say. I
for
just
you.
have to
I mean,
repeat it
I
because
was
y'all
kind
are
of surprised
deaf.
because I had read about it, but that's the first time I'd actually heard him say it. Made me the GOAT. I'm like, damn.
Tell us how you
Yeah,
really feel.
yeah. I was like, okay, you know, I love the kid. I think he's a great player. I think he's been great for the game. But let other people say that for you. To me, it's just disrespectful.
That's what I'm here for.
For a lot of people that came before you that were great players. And you said it to begin with, Chris, you can't compare eras and all that stuff. All these guys have been so great in their era. I just didn't like the way that sounded to me. Just didn't like it.
You know, and everybody knows I love LeBron, but I'm gonna call timeout on this one because and I'll speak definitely to LeBron, or I'll say it to his face. But you never. There's a certain thing about greatness that demands that you have humility with greatness. Now, I've never heard, even though we argue about Michael Jordan being the greatest of all time or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being the greatest of all time, LeBron James being the greatest of all time, we have those arguments in debate. I have never heard Michael Jordan say he's the greatest of all time.
Because I'm done. I'm repeating myself.
Even though Kareem may think that, right? You just don't come out and say that. Now, in this era, you know, maybe it's okay for people to come out and say that. All I know, if I was in the league right now, and you talking about you the greatest of all time, dude, I'm getting ready to do you. I'm coming at you. Like, and you may be, but to
And what happened? Nobody came at him. He's still dropping. He dropped 46 the other night at 37. So he can say it and walk his very way as untouched without anybody challenging him. So I just don't know.
Say that is just totally disrespectful to me as one of your competitors,
bro,
as one of your teammates, as someone in your generation right now. It's just you don't come out and say that. So with greatness, there's a certain amount of humility that goes with that. Now, somebody will probably come back and say, well, Muhammad Ali said I'm the greatest, but that was a single-man sport.
Yeah, individual sport.
That was an individual sport.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods can make the argument he's the greatest because it's single.
Yeah.
But when you saying, and by the way, Muhammad Ali was saying he the greatest because, you know, he was getting in the ring and he'd knock you out.
Right.
But, you know, to be able to take that.
Bro, Isaiah Thomas has changed his GOAT stance like 5 times, bro. Nothing he says makes sense.
And to take that position, in this day and age, in a team sport, you should have some humility that goes.
Jalen Rose, we've been away on break for a little bit. I've been dying to hear what you think about this.
We already heard Jalen Rose, bro.
LeBron James claiming that he is the greatest of all time because he brought Cleveland a championship over the Warriors. What do you think about LeBron saying this?
It's a phenomenal feat what the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to accomplish that season in beating a 73-win Golden State Warriors team. If that doesn't happen, probably changes the trajectory of what we see that has taken place over the last 2 years because I don't think Kevin Durant joins that team. And so, however, your single greatest achievement doesn't make you the greatest basketball player of all time. Now, what ends up happening is, and LeBron James is genius at doing this, he's creating a narrative of recency bias. It's almost like if you ask millennials right now, who's the greatest rap group of all time?
Migos.
You're gonna get a lot of people saying the Migos because they haven't been necessarily exposed to Wu-Tang Clan.
Did he just say recency bias? Coming back 3-1 is a recency bias. When has Jordan come back 3-1 in the... When? Recency bias. 73-9 team. Jordan went 72-10. That's not recency bias. That's history. Okay, yeah, no. I give up. Y'all all heads got it, bro.
Outkast, NWA, Tribe Called Quest. So LeBron James understands when he says this, it allows the fans to quietly leapfrog him over Tim Duncan and Kobe.
I gave him credit.
Kobe has never done something like that in his life, history-wise, in the playoffs.
For passing Larry Bird as the greatest small forward of all time when that feat happened, which was a tall task for me. But my Mount Rushmore is pretty much still intact. MJ, 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 6 championships, 6 MVPs, the NBA's all-time leading scorer. Bill Russell, 11 championships in 13 years. And Irvin Magic Johnson, 5 championships. That's my Mount Rushmore. To me, LeBron's individual achievements have not eclipsed what those gentlemen have accomplished.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and tell me who is your GOAT and why. So make sure
I've said everything, bro. I don't like repeating myself. If I repeat myself again, y'all might click off the video. 3-1, 73-9. Never done in history again. Probably will never happen again in history. Steph Curry broke the game, changed the rules completely. Stopped by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not by some team like the Celtics who has history. Not the Bulls that have history. Not any team that has history already. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. Episode 2 should be coming soon. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to see you on the next video.
I'm just talking on this beat, like it's just you and just me. We can say it's side of the beef.